The average Singaporean retiring today on the full retirement sum will receive 1,730 Singapore dollars a month, but the minimum income standard for a single senior is already $1,421. That $309 surplus vanishes the second you add a spouse or a chronic medical condition. Today, we are auditing the forensic gap in your retirement and the three-layer architecture needed to bridge it. I have been sitting on these numbers for a while. The first time I ran them, I did not believe the result, so I ran them again. The margins are that thin. Here is where the architecture gets interesting. We are auditing the three-layer architecture consisting of CPF, SRS, and the SGX that is required to bridge the $880 deficit without falling into common yield traps. Most heartlanders assume that hitting the full retirement sum is the end of the journey, but for many, it is just the beginning of a structural deficit. We need a forensic approach to ensure your golden years are actually gold, not just a survival exercise. The question we have to ask is simple. Are you $880 short? While the CPF Life full retirement sum pays $1,730 a month, the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy minimum for a single senior is $1,421. That $309 surplus vanishes the moment you add a spouse or real-life expenses. We are looking for the forensic truth behind these numbers to see if your payout actually covers a realistic retirement in Singapore. Applying the forensic lines to our current economy, we have to look at inflation. Applying the MAA's core inflation of 1.4% for 2025, the adjusted floor for a single senior rises to $1,461 a month. For a senior couple, that adjusted floor is $3,420. If your projected income is below your personal version of this number, you do not have a lifestyle problem, you have a structural deficit that requires a different set of tools. CPF Board runs these figures for a male member with a full retirement sum of 213,000 Singapore dollars starting at age 65. The basic plan pays approximately $1,560. The standard plan pays $1,730. The escalating plan starts at $1,380. Three plans, three different bets on how long you live. Female members receive slightly lower payouts due to longer life expectancy, so you must verify your own numbers at the official portal. When we hold these payouts against the survival floor, the reality is stark. A single retiree on $1,730 clears the floor by $269, which looks fine on paper. However, a couple on dual full retirement sum payouts receives $3,460 combined, which is only $40 above the benchmark. This leaves zero buffer for a hospitalization, a failed home appliance, or a month of elevated expenses. For a couple, this architecture is sitting in a state of deficit before the first bill even arrives. CPF Board publishes these payout estimates as helpful ranges, but comfort built on someone else's arithmetic is not forensic security. The $1,730 figure assumes you are male, start at exactly 65, hold precisely $213,000, and that your expenses track a minimum study. Change any one of those variables and the number shifts significantly. My advice is to run your own number based on your actual projected balance and your actual expense ledger to find your true position. The big decision many of you are facing is the ERS top-up. The 2025 budget raised the enhanced retirement sum ceiling from 3 times to 4 times the basic retirement sum, meaning the ceiling is now $426,000. This requires $213,000 in fresh capital if you are moving from the full retirement sum. The forensic question is whether you should deploy that capital inside CPF Life or outside in a dividend portfolio. When we run the forensic numbers on the ERS versus a dividend portfolio, the break-even is clear. Topping up to the enhanced retirement sum adds $1,640 a month compared to $834 from a dividend portfolio at a 4.7% yield. The break-even age is 75.8. Given that male life expectancy is 81 and female is 86, this is a mathematically sound trade for most retirees who prioritize a guaranteed income floor. And there is something else the ERS comparison misses: liquidity and legacy. The ERS wins on monthly income with no sequence of returns risk and a guaranteed floor. But a dividend portfolio wins on liquidity because that $213,000 remains accessible for emergencies. In a dividend portfolio, the full capital passes to your estate, whereas CPF Life follows the bequest rules of your chosen plan. Your answer turns on whether you need a higher guaranteed floor or capital flexibility. CPF Life is the unbreakable floor of your retirement architecture, designed to outlast you, but a dividend portfolio is the flexible wall you build above that floor. You have to know which problem you are actually solving: a cash flow gap or a capital flexibility gap. They require different tools and different mindsets. A floor without walls is just a slab. and we are here to build a complete home for your retirement. Let's look at Uncle Raymond's wallet to see how this lands in the heartlands. Raymond is 58, living in Marine Parade, with $200,000 in his CPF retirement account and $180,000 in his SRS. He also has an SGX portfolio of $100,000 yielding 5.2%. His personal target is $2,500 a month, which is realistic for his area. At 65, his projected CPF life payout on the standard plan is approximately $1,620. If you are finding this forensic gap check useful, you can get my full calculators and zero-day analysis inside Iggy's Elite Investors. We build these three-layer architectures together to ensure no heartlander is left with just a concrete slab, link in the description. Running Raymond's financial health check. We see he clears the statutory floor but fails his personal target by $253. His income coverage ratio from CPF alone is only 64.8%, meaning he definitely needs a supplement. His ERS break-even age is viable, and his current SRS yield of 5.2% passes the forensic hurdle of 4.7%. He is on the right track, but there is still work to be done to close the gap. To close that $880 monthly gap, we have to look at portfolio requirements. A $100,000 portfolio would need a 10.6% yield, which is deep in yield trap territory and highly dangerous. A $200,000 portfolio needs a 5.3% yield, which passes our forensic standards. If the portfolio is too large, like $500,000, the required yield drops to 2.1%, which actually falls below our efficiency hurdle. The forensic answer for Raymond is a portfolio of $200,000 or more. Looking at Raymond's total income projection, he reaches $2,553 a month. This includes $1,620 from CPF Life, $500 from his SRS drawdown, and $433 from SGX dividends. Against his target of $2,500, his surplus is a mere $53 a month. This is what I call a borderline pass, structurally sound but incredibly tight. The forensic reading of Raymond's situation is not failure, but fragility. Clearing a target by just $53 a month means one REIT dividend cut or one medical bill puts him back in a deficit. The architecture is sound, but it has no buffer. My prescription for him is to grow that dividend portfolio from $100,000 to $200,000 over the next 7 years. That would widen his surplus to $486 a month, creating a genuinely resilient position. The forensic verdict is clear. First, CPF Life at the full retirement sum is a survival floor, not a comfort zone, especially for couples. Second, the ERS case is now stronger than ever thanks to the new ceiling, offering a compelling guaranteed payout. Third, the dividend portfolio should be viewed as a complement to the ERS, not a competitor. You need the guaranteed floor of CPF, the tax efficiency of SRS, and the flexible layer of a 4.7% hurdle SGX portfolio. This three-layer architecture is how you close the gap. The SRS serves as your tax-efficient middle layer, while SGX dividends provide flexible income above your CPF Life floor. Each layer serves a distinct purpose, and together they bridge the distance between the statutory minimum and your actual retirement number. Without all three, your retirement house is missing a critical structural component. In the world of dividend investing, we spend a lot of time talking about the yield spread, the difference between what a stock pays you and the risk-free rate, but there is a hidden leak that most retail investors completely ignore: transaction friction. If you are deploying 10,000 Singapore dollars into a SG REIT and your broker eats a chunk of that in minimum commissions or platform fees, you are starting your investment in the red before the first dividend even lands. Data is only useful if you have the tools to act on it without getting eaten alive by those fees. That is why I use Longbridge. They are currently the only platform in Singapore offering lifetime $0 commission for US, HK, and SG stocks. Their data visualization is also some of the fastest I have used, which is critical when you are timing an entry in a volatile market. To help you plug that leak, I have partnered with Longbridge for a specific pilot program. For the first 10 readers who open and fund an account with a minimum of 10,000 Singapore dollars, they are offering a direct 100 Singapore dollar cash credit on top of their generous welcome rewards. Simply put, if you deposit $10,000, hold it for 3 months and complete 5 buy trades, you will receive an exclusive $100 cash coupon, $300 worth of Nvidia shares in total, as well as a 5% interest boost coupon valid for a whole year valued at $100, with a total value of $500. Why does this math matter to a forensic investor? Because $100 on a $10,000 deposit is an immediate 1.0% day one yield boost. It is the simplest way to neutralize transaction friction and protect your margin of safety before you even buy your first share. This is a one-time pilot, strictly limited to the first 10 spots. Link and full terms are in the description. Other fees and terms and conditions apply, so read those first. But for a forensic investor who cares about entry cost, this is worth 5 minutes of your time. Now let's get back to Uncle Raymond. So what do we take from this? You must run your own balance and expense ledger rather than relying on illustrative figures. The full retirement sum is a survival flaw, and couples on dual payouts have almost no buffer. The ERS is a compelling option for those prioritizing guaranteed income with a break-even age of 75.8. Build all 3 layers, CPF, SRS, and a 4.7% hurdle SGX portfolio to ensure a forensic retirement architecture that actually lasts. CPF Life is the concrete slab, and your dividend portfolio is the house you build on top of it. A slab without walls is not a home, and a retirement without a flexible income layer is not a life, it is just survival. You have the tools and the benchmarks, now you just need the forensic discipline to finish the build. In conclusion, Raymond's $53 surplus is a finding, not a failure. He built this architecture himself on a civil servant savings and positioned himself to widen that margin. Most Singaporeans will not run these numbers until it is too late to change them. But the arithmetic only takes 20 minutes. It just requires the discipline to look at the gap honestly and take action while you still have time on your side. I am Iggy, forensic investor, ranked 8th on Tiger Brokers among Singapore retail investors, and your guide through the SGX market jungle. If you want the full breakdown before the free version drops, Iggy's elite investors get 0-day access, link in the description. The window is already open. If you are turning 55 or 65 soon, the decision to top up to the ERS or build your SGX layer is the most consequential move you will make this decade. Iggy's elite investors are already running these models in our private community. Join us at the link below to secure your floor before the window closes. This video is a paid partnership with Longbridge Singapore. It is intended for general awareness and does not constitute investment advice or a recommendation to buy, sell, or otherwise engage with any investment products or financial services. The presenter is not a licensed financial advisor and is not offering financial advice. All views expressed are solely those of the presenter and do not necessarily reflect the view of Longbridge Singapore. All investments carry risks, may not be suitable for everyone, and you may lose your investment principal. Past performance is not indicative of future results. You should seek independent financial advice if you are unsure about any investment decisions. This advertisement has not been reviewed by the Monetary Authority of Singapore.